What's going on, guys? This is Austin here. We're going to be working on Week 7, 5-minute fantasy, booming and busting quarterbacks. My first start, I'm going to say, is going to be Daniel Jones. I like Daniel Jones in this matchup against Arizona. Arizona doesn't have a very good defense. Plus, they've been scoring a lot more points as of late. So look for him to have have another Tampa Bay-esque game where he might have to run for a touchdown, a few first downs. He's going to be passing a lot. One thing to watch out for is that Patrick Peterson is back in that game. So be careful about starting the starting wide receiver Sterling Shepard in that if he's going to be playing. Another booming quarterback of the week, Jared Goff. He's going up against the ATL, Atlanta. Atlanta basically is the same thing as Arizona, except they've been scoring more points and they've been giving up more points. So this is really going to be a shootout game. I know just a couple hours ago, it was late last night, right? The Rams traded for Jalen Ramsey. Don't expect that to be a real impact on this game. Maybe he's able to cover Julio Jones, and maybe he's able to slow him down, but you still got Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, and Austin Hooper that are all catching a lot of passes this year. Another start of the week, Josh Allen. All right, I know that Buffalo is a run-heavy team, and they're going against Miami. But that's basically the main reason why I'm going to say Josh Allen, because there's only going to be so many possessions and so many third downs that they can't pass on. Because Buffalo has a real defense, and Miami, unfortunately, they don't really know what's going on at quarterback. They don't have a lot of skill position guys, and so I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to just eat up the clock, have a lot of possessions. They're going to be handing off a lot to Frank Gore and Singletary. But look for Josh Allen to also get his points as well. Gardner Minshew against Cincinnati. Cincinnati does not have a very good running rush defense at all. So this is a game where you're absolutely going to want to start Leonard Fournette. They're coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Saints, where they absolutely thought that they could have won that game, and they're still vying for an AFC wild card spot, because the AFC is pretty wide open right now. So look for a real efficient game from Gardner Minshew, but also look for a few touchdowns in the red zone if they ever get stacked back. And then look for a booming game from Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers has had a rough couple weeks, and he is not. He's been playing a lot worse than he really is against this Tennessee defense. I don't think that this Tennessee defense is living up to what it's always been able to be in the past. I think that they're Kevin Byard and Malcolm Butler are somewhat overrated. Look for Phillip Rivers to have a bounce back game this week. Busting quarterbacks this week, I'm going with Kirk Cousins against Detroit. Detroit won against Green Bay, and then it got taken away from them. And Matt Patricia absolutely is taking control of that locker room. All he's doing, he's not saying anything about the officiating. It's very Bill Belichick-like. He's just saying, guys, check out these plays. I guess earlier today, they went over like 30 different plays in the film room, and he said we have to do better. So be careful about Kirk Cousins this week. Also, Detroit doesn't have a very good rushing defense, so look for Dalvin Cook to be getting a lot of the offense this week. Tom Brady against the Jets. The Jets have a legitimate defense. It's been pretty uninspired as of late, up until Sam Darnold got back, because now they realize they actually have a quarterback that can win the games. Tom Brady hasn't been performing well. He's been doing well fantasy-wise just because he has so many like dump offs behind the line of scrimmage that are counted as passes. But look for a real defender like Jamal Adams to be able to shut that down this time around. Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that Washington doesn't know what's going on offense, and because of that, I think their defense is going to be putting them in really short, good field positions. And then the San Francisco 49ers are averaging 200 rushing yards a game, and I think Garoppolo's only at like 150 yards a game. I think this is a game where they could absolutely rush for 300 yards as a team. So be careful about starting him. He's not going to have a lot of volume at all. I'm a little nervous about this one, but sit Lamar Jackson. I think that the Seattle defense knows a lot of what Lamar is like because they face a quarterback like Russell Wilson in practice. That and the fact that I think this is going to be a run-oriented game. I think it's going to be a lot of Chris Carson. It's going to be a lot of Mark Ingram. So be careful about starting Lamar. And then Carson Wentz. I'm going to say sit Carson Wentz just because Dallas's running defense, rush defense, has been pretty bad as of late. And they should have a good secondary. So I think this is going to be a big Jordan Howard game, but be careful about starting Carson Wentz on this one.